Welcome back to another Raiderland podcast. Ryan Hyatt, and yes, I am, with the barbed wire tattoos and the flaming red hair, hanging out with Scott Fitzgerald. And man, by the way, congratulations. I think this is your 20th recruiting class to cover, something like that. Damn near close.
5 times 4, I think, something like that. You recovered, you covered a long time.
I mean, it's not 5 years. I mean, 5 years of covering recruiting.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Yeah, you get like statues built after you or something.
But you're no Don Williams.
That's true. Because Don Williams, what is he up to? He's on like a...
We're looking at 30 now, I think.
He's like way high up on the Amway totem pole.
Yeah.
But, I covered recruiting before it was cool.
All right, let's talk about Kliff's 5th recruiting class. What's different? What's better? What's not better? Where does this compare to some other classes? And there's been no buzz.
And I think is it good or is it bad? We won't know until next December. But have you ever been around a more anticlimactic signing day since signing day has become cool? And I don't know that you have. And part of it
be the early enrollees.
Part of it is the early enrollees. Part of it is you're not signing the sexy positions. The skill guys you've got on campus.
Hold on, offensive linemen aren't sexy.
I'm not saying they're not sexy. I'm just saying that they're not going to move the meter from a ranking standpoint.
Right.
It's not the 5-star QB. It's not the 6-8 star receiver. Because they just keep adding stars and things like that. And so I think that's part of it. And part of it is the early enrollees, the guys that are here, that are still here. That
I heard one guy got cut.
And one player is no longer with the program.
Thank you very much.
But those guys are here. They're going to get snaps in the spring, and they need them because you need them to produce.
Kliff said on Wednesday the thing he liked about this class, the high school offensive linemen coming in, and the secondary. Fair evaluation, and did that address need for this team?
Absolutely it did, because some of your glaring needs were secondary. When you didn't have a pass rush, you had to rely on the secondary, that whole argument. And you've got a few pieces in place right now. This time last year we weren't talking about Doug Coleman. Nope. I think everybody's a Doug Coleman fan right now for any number of reasons. You get a few pieces to play with them. Maybe you find a pass rusher in your linebackers.
Right.
And your offensive linemen, Swiss cheese, had fewer holes than this offensive line did at times last year.
Which is scary, because in August, Kliff told me this was the best offensive line that they've had. Makes me worry just a little bit. All right, let's go to impact right now. This staff has to have immediate impact out of this class. If they want to be coaching here this time next year, they've got to have impact. Take Dakota Allen out of it. I factor him in. He went on vacation. He comes back. Who's got to make the impact? Maybe give me one guy each side of the ball.
I think it has to be Jack Anderson. And that's a big mantle to put on his shoulders.
Yeah.
The good thing is he's a big guy. He's your highest rated recruit. Kliff said he was the best recruiter for the team this year. That's right. And so not necessarily keeping the class together, but just solidifying the class. He's the leader. You need him to play up to his ranking. I don't want to say his potential, because I think we all know what his potential is.
Right.
But he was recognized early. He's one of those guys you had to hold on to, and he has to shoulder, I'll say, the burden of being the top recruit in this class.
He's almost got to show up like an NFL offensive lineman on day one out of high school.
As a freshman. And I think he's going to be expected to play early, if not start, and he's just going to have to perform well. And that's really unfair to a kid who is skipping the spring of his senior year to go and roll. It really is.
All right, on the defensive side, is there anybody that can come in and start, or are we looking at plays right now that you can give help on the depth? You can let guys take time off with the newcomers.
No, you talk about tattoos. Yeah. Noah Jones, he feels. I hope he could pass rush as well as he looks the part. The other guy, Quincy Addison, I like what I've seen about him. He's one of those guys that can play probably any position in the defensive backfield, in addition to walk up and maybe cover a slot receiver, tight end type that the Big 12 is going to throw at you. I think the more versatile you are there, hold on, I'm going to say something.
Watch out.
Maybe he can perfect the safety blitz.
All right.
Maybe he can put a little pressure that way. I think he's a very versatile guy that you're happy to have.
I am fascinated by rankings. By that I mean I'll pay attention to them. You know me a long time. I could give a crap about the rankings. How in the hell does Baylor have better rankings, rivals, different sites than Texas Tech when Matt Rule comes in basically a month ago in a grease fire? What do I take away from that? If I'm an average Tech fan and they're going to look Thursday and Friday and see these rankings come out and they're going to see Baylor ahead of Tech, big deal, not a big deal?
Not a big deal because, and I'll say this selfishly, Baylor's going to get what's coming to them.
Yeah.
And it's a deal where they've still got a little luster in the helmet, and it's
very gold.
Yes, very
huge helmet.
The other thing Matt Rule did, he hired a handful of Texas high school coaches that helped scramble together a class. And now what you have to kind of take pride in if you're a Texas Tech fan, or hold on to if you're a Texas Tech fan, is that Kliff and his staff and their talent evaluation is going to be better than guys just hopping around hoping that you're going to get a good player.
I'll put you on the spot. This class right now, first part of February 2017, when they're seniors and they come out for senior day, will Kliff Kingsbury greet them?
I sure hope so.
Will he be the head coach of the Red Raiders?
I sure hope so.
See, you did better than Collier on that, because he totally crawfished on the deal and wouldn't answer the question.
No, I hope he is. And here's the thing. There's a lot of, and this is what I dread about this upcoming season. I'm already dreading this upcoming season because it's going to be all about whether or not Kliff Kingsbury keeps his job
on a week-by-week basis.
And that is so entirely unfair to him. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of people out in Lubbock, Texas. There's a lot of people at Texas Tech that have half-assed their jobs for a very long time. Not saying that Kliff has half-assed his job, but here's the thing: there's a lot of people that are very average or below average at their job that get to keep their job. And I think there is not a Texas Tech fan out there that wants to see Kliff Kingsbury go. And when he was hired, I said we're going to have to give him a little bit of learning curve to learn how to be a head coach. You can't really hit the reset button, but is this the beginning of the ascension that we thought maybe was taking place in 13 and 14? And I'm not, I have no ties to Kliff, but is there anybody you would want in this position other than Kliff Kingsbury? If you were to we want one of our own, right? We want him to stay here. We want him to be here for a long time. Well, he's told you all that, and now all of a sudden that's not good enough.
You're driving a nice truck today. Where can folks go get that?
McGavickNissanLubbock.com.
He's Scott Fitzgerald, everybody. We've known him for a while. He's wearing a Waylon Jennings Concert Bash T-shirt. He designed it himself. All right, we'll see you guys in Raiderland.